What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ammo Box. We have a special edition. We have a special guest, my man Josh Faubian over here. Put your microphone in front of you, man.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I can't hear you, bud.
I'm supposed to put it
Otherwise, I
3 to 4
can't hear
inches
you.
away.
So this is the new little venture we're starting here this beautiful Sunday afternoon in Fort Worth, Texas. We're just gonna look at things from a dad perspective because that's what we are, dealing with everyday life, dealing with the things that we got to deal with as business owners and as employees, some of us, and parents and husbands and sons and all this other stuff. So we're gonna give you kind of our take on whatever it is that we decide we want to give you a take on, and we're gonna keep it lighthearted. At least we're gonna try to, right? Because I don't necessarily think I want to get too heavy with this stuff. Unless it calls for it, but we'll let you be the judge. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all that stuff. Help the algorithm, help us to help the people we're trying to help in what we're doing here. If you have seen the recent Facebook posts and whatnot, you know that we're going to give some of the portions of the sales from our merchandise to Apollo Rescue. Ow! Which Josh, my man Josh over here, his lovely wife got involved with, like 4 or 5 years ago? A little while ago?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as she heard about them,
Yeah.
we don't own a pet that's not a rescue, so we're not about breeders. We're not about any of that.
Right.
If we fall in love with the animal, that's the one you get.
Yeah.
And to rescue it from a shelter's been better than to go buy one off a shelf.
Yeah,
so,
for sure. For
yeah,
sure.
it's definitely a passion in the family, and
Heck yeah.
it works.
So we're gonna do some of the proceeds from all of the merchandise that we're gonna put together here. We're gonna do a portion of that to them, and we'll work out some other things with some other charitable organizations, either local or national, or whatever we kind of decide we want to go towards. But we guarantee you that any and all donations that come from the ammo box here will go to purely helping people and not helping agendas, so to speak. So, in case there's any wonder about where that money's going, I want you to be assured that it's going to help those in need, not help those who want to be helpers or whatever. So, with that, today's little endeavor is going to be really kind of about you, Josh, and your venture and starting up Pistol Pete's Trucking. Go check them out. Do you have your social media stuff up yet?
I do have a social media page, which is Pistol Pete's Trucking
Pull that
LLC.
microphone.
It is active. It's attached to my personal page, so
Okay.
all the notifications come straight to me. And it's
Right
just
on.
a click, and I'm doing whatever I want to do on there.
Right on, right on. And how can they get a hold of you phone wise?
Phone wise is direct to me is 682-597-3812. I'm
Right on.
available pretty much any time of the day. Like a normal man, I don't like to answer the phone after 8, but
Fair enough. Fair
we know
enough.
what we got to do. The
Fair
wife
enough.
will answer the phone as well. She's 817-946-3636, and she'll pass you right over to me. So.
Right on, right on. And for those, for some of y'all who haven't ventured into owning your own business as of yet, extremely valuable experience. Everyone should at least try it once. But what you're going to find is a lot like what Josh just described. You're answering the phone for your company because you are the company, which is totally a good thing because it means you have 100% control of what's going on with your company. You don't have to worry about answering to somebody else or having some kind of weird arbitrary policy or procedure thing saying that you can or cannot handle your business the way you want to handle your business. But on the other side of that, it is a complete eat what you kill kind of thing. You're scrounging. That's why you're answering that phone. You know what I mean? All kinds of crazy hours. That's why you're talking to your driver at all kinds of crazy hours and doing the things you need to do. So, what I'd like to kind of start with, Josh, is if you don't mind, just kind of tell me the story of how how Pistol Pete got kind of, I don't want to say started, but kind of where the idea birthed from and where versus where it is today.
Absolutely. Before we get too serious with all that, I actually had another business owner friend we have that's mutual tell me the other day he quit his 9 to 5 to start a 5 to 9. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you mean 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. He goes, you got that right. And I was like, that's where we're at.
It bees what it bees.
But anyway, Pistol Pete started, had a good buddy. Me personally, I've worked on the drilling rigs for a long time, probably 2006 to pretty much this year, and met a good guy, a lot of good guys on the rigs, and his name was Pete. We called him Big Pete because because he was a big boy, and we loved him to death. The dude would give you his shirt off his back. Family man, great dude. He took the time to start his own trucking company, did that for a little bit, and wanted me to jump in on it. And we just never really hit the mark, you know.
Right.
And then,
Could coordinate just the right timing and stuff.
Yeah, you know, maybe it was financials, maybe it was this, or doubts or fears, like anybody has when you go to do something crazy. So it just never worked out. And then he went back to doing other things, and I think it's been almost 4 years now. He passed away in his sleep, actually.
Oh, wow.
And that was a hard phone call to take. We took that. I was on the way to Colorado, pulling a 45-foot fifth wheel behind me when we got that phone call.
Was that your California trip that y'all took?
No, it wasn't the California. It was the following summer. We went
Oh,
to
yeah,
Colorado.
okay, I got you.
Yeah. And, that was a little, it threw you off a little bit. You know?
How long did you work with Pete?
3.5 years.
Oh, wow.
Just on the rigs, and it was like we never left the rigs. You know, when he left and I left, eventually you part ways with any drilling rig you work on. So, but we never lost connection with each other. It was almost every day I got a text from Pete, or I was texting Pete because we missed each other. You know, it was just one of those bonds that we formed. And
yeah, that's rough, man.
it was nice, and to get that call on the way on vacation, and then just suck it up and keep on moving. But so here we are, about 4 years later. Life just keeps rolling because it don't care.
Yeah. It ain't stopping for us.
No, it's not. It came to a point where I was just kind of tired of being out of town, working on drilling rigs, and came home and said, "Here, let's just do it, and it either works or it don't."
Right.
And we'll put his name in there, and I want it to be fun, so we said Pistol Pete's.
Yeah.
And I know that has correlation with other things from the past that a lot of people probably don't know about. But,
Right.
We just wanted to be fun. We wanted it to be exciting. Pistols shoot fast. So we're hot shotting with a 40-foot trailer. And here we are.
Moving.
We're
moving gear.
And just seeing what happens.
Yeah.
Let's take the jump. Sometimes you don't take a jump, you never know what the fall feels like.
Right. Exactly. And I'm glad you said it, because that's kind of one of the things I wanted to touch on as well. There's a lot of obviously fear in starting your own project. You know what I mean? Your own business, whatever. As somebody who's done it in several different industries, several different genres, it is one of those things where, especially in the beginning, the first time you're really doing it, it's one of those things where you're asking yourself a lot, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
What did I just do to myself? Because it is a huge leap of faith,
There's quite a few mornings you wake up and you go, what are you doing in the mirror? While you brush your teeth, you're like, you sure?
Right? Yeah. Yeah, question yourself back and forth to your own face, and that's the nature of the beast. That's what it is. Every time I've ever, every time I've ever made a decision to start something new, that forces me to forego something else in life, it always came down to, okay, is this going to be what it is? And the only way to figure that out is to do it. And I think that's where a lot of people have that hang up. And a buddy of mine explained it in a really, really concise way, and I'll give him all the credit in the world. A guy named Brian Barbo. He started Your Digital Canvas with me way back in the day. I think he still runs B&B Private Consultations. A phenomenal guy. And he was a faith-based leader kind of guy back before it was cool, and he and I spent a lot of time together. And he always explained it with this great analogy. He said, imagine life is life is a flowing river, right? And your portion of life is the boat that you're on, right? Faith is when the waterfall comes, because at some point, a body of water that runs over land will come to a waterfall, drop off into something, right? It's inevitable. It's just the way it is. Faith is standing at the front of the boat on your way down, calm as a cucumber, hands out like Jack on the Titanic, because at the bottom you're going to be fine. You know what I mean? Regardless of what happens, whether your project or your venture succeeds or fails, or whatever happens, faith in him is being able to stand at that bow of that boat on the way over the waterfall, knowing at the bottom of it you're okay. And it's kind of the rule that I've lived my life by for a long time, and it's gotten me through some heavy stuff. Um, but as it comes to business, it's really a lot of the same kind of analogy. You're really standing at the edge of the cliff and throwing all your crap over the edge, and hoping that when you get down to the bottom, you can collect it all up before you get down to the bottom of it. What was that? What kind of processes did you have to work through to kind of make your because you have to, right? You have to make your brain do it. It's because it's counterintuitive. It's not safe. It's not. You know what I mean? You're getting rid of a safety net underneath you, so it's your brain actively having to be programmed to say, "Hey, I want to do it this way." What was that like? Like, what kind of resources or coping mechanisms or whatever did you have to use to kind of get to that point?
Well, what was nice is stepping into knowing that we wanted to be in the trucking industry. We got a good friend that is doing it. She did it all on her own, and so she was very easy to reach out to.
Right.
And be able to help me step by step. Be like, you need to get on the Texas Comptroller and do this, and then after you do that, you need to do this. She was very good at giving me the step by step. Otherwise, I'd have been completely lost. I'd have been running into walls in a dark room all day, just bouncing around.
Yeah, you had
I didn't have a clue, man.
So essentially, you had a built-in mentor.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And it was probably the best part of the process. It was to have that. I think I'd have been lost 2 weeks in, and then I'd have spent, extra finances that I didn't need to spend just so somebody else could do it for me.
Trying to figure out how to get out of it.
Yeah, because how can I make this work now that I've effed it up so much that somebody else could come in and step in and go, damn, and so that was really nice to have. It made it work, it gave me confidence to be able to have her tell me, go do this and do it myself.
Right.
And not have to rely on somebody else or share that responsibility. Yeah. So
that's a huge tip of the cap to you, to realize that you actually had that as a resource. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, and I come across it all the time, a lot of people would have sat in your position with her, just utilizing the time to make the paycheck, and then not necessarily equating how to connect the two, even though it's in the same industry. Right. So you understanding and recognizing that as a resource that you can utilize to help you and your family get to where you need to go is you're light years beyond a lot of people who decide to do this, especially in like their late 20s, early 30s. You know what I mean? No offense to you guys. I get it. You guys are working as hard as everybody else. I understand. I was there once. But I think with age and time, we're in our early 40s. We got kids. We got lives. We got house payments and car payments and all the stuff that goes along with being, providing a lifestyle for a family. Yeah. And it speaks a lot to what your life experience has been, as far as getting you to realize that's a mentor situation that I can utilize, that I can take part in and have as a positive influence in what I'm doing. That's huge. But you're smart, and that's why I like sitting down and talking to you. It makes life easier.
I like to think I'm smart too sometimes, Then my wife corrects me and I'm like, you're right.
Well,
that comes along.
No matter how educated you are, and I'll tell you a funny story about that, and we're going to kind of veer off in a little bit here. So, I love my wife to death. She thinks she knows cars. She changed an alternator in like an old 90s model Mustang in a parking lot at Walmart, and kudos.
Obviously a full-blown mechanic now.
Yeah. In the 90s, I couldn't have done it. Legit. I couldn't have done it in the 90s. I'd have been sitting there.
I was still learning how to tie my shoes.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? For real. I had to have a 6x6 come pull me off of train tracks in an old Ranger at a part of town you're not supposed to be in, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I get it. I went to school as a mechanic, right? Graduated, almost taught my class, and worked in the industry. I still work in the industry today, with cars and yada, yada, yada.
Fancy knuckle breaker there.
Yeah, I get to work on the paperwork side, which is great. And every once in a while we'll get into a debate, or a conversation, I shouldn't say debate, a conversation about a car thing. And she'll argue. And eventually I'm like, okay, whatever, fine, you're right. Obviously she's not, but okay, you're right. It drives me nuts. But it is what it is. And they're never, again, no matter how much education, no matter how much of whatever it is you do, in the moment, if you're not supposed to be right, you're not going to be right. There's what it is.
That is a thing. That's legitimately a thing.
Thank God they're pretty.
It's most mornings before coffee and
right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate.
I'm wrong until I feed her. Caffeine and dinner. I'm wrong.
Some kind of mind-altering substance and a snack. Let's go.
I love it. I look forward to it every morning.
Right. So, how is Pistol Pete's doing? How things are moving along for you?
So the basis of Pistol Pete's was as long as it's paying for itself, it's running.
Right.
And it's doing that. We're profitable to date, for sure.
Right.
I mean, we're only 5 weeks in.
I was gonna say, and y'all haven't been.
I mean, we're new. We have official 60-day authority right now. We're, what's it, 16th, right?
Yeah.
So we're 9 days away. Or sorry, it's more than that. 7 plus 4. You know, do math.
11-ish.
It's 11-ish away from being 90 days, which opens up a whole new avenue, doors in the trucking industry for brokers who you get loads through because they trust you. You've been able to succeed to that point.
Right.
And
You've been safe up to this point.
You've been safe up to that point. Loads have been successful. You know, you've been inspected. You've been pulled over by DOT and had level 1s or truck stops or scaled out or whatever it might be. And so that opens doors to new brokers that are willing to pay you better for that experience, for your experience, right? Mm-hmm. They start respecting you a little bit more, and so we're excited. I mean, that's basically next week. So
right. That's crazy. Because that's a fast turnaround. That's a fast turnaround. 6-week turnaround profitability.
Your initial weight when you get your own authority, your own MC numbers, DOT numbers, Texas DOT numbers, all this jazz. So much paperwork. So many passwords. Websites to sign into. I mean, the initial waiting period is 30 days once you get insurance, and then.
So it's a delicate timing balance between spending the capital on actually getting the equipment versus actually putting the equipment on the road, right?
Right. I mean, I've heard of people get like a 2001 Toyota Camry and put commercial insurance on it when they started their authority, just so they were paying, because the value of the car was only $1,000, so they're only paying $200 a month, and then they just sit on it for 6 months. So when they start actually running,
that's a genius idea.
Commercial wise, that they're already 6 months authority, but it hasn't cost them thousands and thousands.
Right.
You know,
that's a genius level idea.
I wish somebody had told me that story before I was 45 days in.
Yeah, $3,000 ago, right?
Yeah. Something like that.
Ish.
To put it lightly.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right on.
Because they are proud of that, I can tell you. There's not a whole lot in the trucking industry that has a financial respect to you. You know, you are fighting for every bit of it you get. So
if you miss a penny, somebody else is going to keep it on you. Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right on.
It's fun. It's constant. It's
what's the experience been like? Like overall, what is your review of it?
Yeah, like I touched on earlier. You know, you went from a 9 to 5 to a 5 to 9. And it doesn't even really stop then.
Right.
You know, it might be midnight your driver calls you for some reason.
Right. Yeah.
Who knows? But it's been great. It's gone well. We've had minor obstacles, nothing major yet. Mm-hmm. We started with fresh equipment, so purposely, so that if anything goes wrong, you know, you're not
60,000 miles behind on it, right?
You're not worried about what was the truck actually gone through before I got it.
Right.
What was the trailer been through before I got it? Were the just the simplest maintenance done, or was it not? Is it you know? So we started with everything fresh, which can be also costly in this day and age.
Well, yeah. And you did it right in the middle of the shitty car market, bro.
Yeah.
A crap car market for
you. Giraffe ass right now. So,
yeah.
You know, it's like.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I the best I could wait in my mind, I just felt like it was the right decision.
Right.
To have to do basic maintenance, oil changes, which are going to come basically every 2 weeks.
Right.
Fuel filters and transmission fluid.
Yeah.
Whatever, So it's been good. The equipment's holding up very well. We haven't even been tested yet. I don't feel like.
What's the most you've hauled so far?
17.5.
Okay.
For a whopping, we hauled it from Bossier City, Louisiana, to the west side of Houston. Which isn't very far. I think it was like 300 miles tops.
There's all East Texas highways and West Louisiana highways.
Some kind of oil field valve or something, and that's a legit weight behind a straight truck.
Right.
Behind a 3500. So.
And no issues, like a champ.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, Josh, I gotta admit, man, I'm as somebody who kind of has been doing a lot of this stuff kind of as a living for a while now, both at in making other people rich and trying to make myself rich. When you first came with the idea of starting a trucking company, my normal natural instinct. Hi, Katie. There she comes. My normal. She's gonna come in and join us on the podcast. My normal natural instinct, especially when people start talking about taking huge jumps like that, is kind of retract. You know what I mean? I naturally kind of like, maybe you should think about that for a minute. Right. When you said it, I was like, no, we're good. Instantaneous. I don't know why. I have no reason to. You had never been in the trucking industry prior to that. As far as like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my only experience with it is hot and shotting tools off of location because we broke them, or receiving tools off of a truck.
Right.
Because that's how you get them, because they weigh that much.
Right, right. But outside of that, I mean, as far as like
logistics,
organizing the data to point the truck in the right direction, get it there on time.
Figure out logistics.
Right.
Let's go buy it.
Right. I have to say, man, I'm extremely impressed by what you've accomplished in, like I said, 4, 5, 6 weeks right now.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Of actual running,
yeah. Yeah. It's turning profitability that soon is unheard of. Period. End of story. Turning profitability is unheard of that fast in almost any industry. Now, some are obviously a little easier than others, depending on what your startup costs are. Blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, it's hard to imagine somebody. It's hard to imagine somebody having planned it on purpose, doing it better. And it's been a real pleasure watching you kind of grow in this and get your feet wet as a business owner and deal with the ups and downs. And because you're working, like we're third driver in right now.
Technically the 4,
right?
Because the first one never actually sat behind the steering wheel.
No, that's right. He actually never.
And then the second one thought they wanted to drive a hot shot truck, style truck, or whatever you want to call it. But you can't be a hot shot anymore. Basically, you're still now you're regulated. They weren't before, but now we're to the day and age. You got to have electronic logging. Yeah. So you're just another truck. You're just not as big as a semi.
Right. You just carry less weight than they do.
He thought he wanted to do that, and found out very quickly he did not.
Yeah.
After only a week and a half.
Well, at least he was quick about it, right?
You get a third driver. He's ready to move on to bigger and better things because he had an opportunity, and I can't blame him for that.
Right.
So go get it, And now here we are with driver number 4. We'll just leave it at that. And he gets it done.
He's at least got the experience to make it okay.
Yeah. Ish. Yeah, that's how I'll leave it.
Yeah.
He could be frustrating, but he's turning the wheels profitably, so
right.
he can.
Yeah, outside of that, it's hard to ask for anything else, right?
You just find the balance. You just got to find the balance with them. So.
Right on. This is. I'm super happy about what's going on for you, and I want to. And obviously, we're gonna do this every Sunday, so we'll keep track of kind of what's going on and how you're moving along and how things are coming for you, and we'll do the same thing for the ammo box. And if you guys haven't seen, don't hit the microphone. If you guys haven't seen the new store, go by Redbubble and check out the Michael Henry's Ammo Box Gear and Loot site. You can actually get to it through my Facebook, social media stuff. So go check it out. Buy the merch. We're gonna have other designs up there for Pistol Pete's as well, hats and koozies and whatever. It's just because every little bit helps.
It's still loading. It's in the works. It's getting there.
Yeah, we're working on it. Once we get that there.
he's doing a job
Bang, bang.
on it. So.
So yeah, we're gonna get that loaded because, and again, what we're doing from a dad perspective, we're gonna cover everything. My big thing right now that I've been heavy into is passive income. So I found an opportunity where I can literally make money just designing digital logos and then having somebody else handle the property for me. So that I get to have a couple different brands under the store, which is is going to be inclusive of Pistol Pete's over here. So, and those are just revenue streams that obviously we'll talk about some of that later as we get into the nuts and bolts of making this whole machine work. So I'm gonna help him set up that. It's just a passive income stream to help offset the cost of running a business in today's market, especially the way we're going right now. And I'll leave it at that. Guys, thank you so much again for coming and joining us here in the Ammo Box. Josh, thank you so much for joining me here and being part of what's going on here.
Absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to this show kind of taking off and doing what we want to do with it.
It's been a pleasure to be a guest and a host.
Heck yeah, heck yeah.
That's
You know.
my favorite part.
So, stay tuned, guys. Again, like, share, subscribe. Help the algorithm find us. Help the algorithm help you find us, so that we can continue to build an empire built on helping people. Helping other people to figure out what it is that will help them move forward in the future. So, we covered the social media stuff. Covered Pistol Pete's. We're gonna get you.
We did that.
We're gonna get you a website and stuff too, right? Or are we still gonna hold on at some point?
Yeah, I've got a sister for that.
Right on. So we'll get all that stuff, and we'll update the screen and everything with all the contact information as these shows come out. But again, thank you guys. We love you. We can't thank you enough for all the help and support that you provide for us in building what we want to build for our families and helping us to help other people. Help as many people as they can. So if you can be here, get here. Until next time.